Alrighty, this is part 2 of Rise of Dictatorship video. Alrighty, so we just went over there's 5 dictators. Alright, there's Franco from Spain. Once again, the only thing you need to know is Spain is busy with a civil war and cannot fight in World War II. Then chronologically, the first dictator is Mussolini with his black shirt people. They march on Rome to make sure he becomes a prime minister. They march and he bans everything. He strips people of all their rights in Italy, but his big fatal mistake is he invades Ethiopia, which is way down here, and that kind of hurts them as they're not really a good Axis power during the war. Now, the other dictator we talked about was Stalin. Remember, the Tsar Nicholas II, all his family died during the Civil War. They get in charge by this crazy bald guy named Lenin. He creates, it is no longer Russia, they are the USSR. However, he gets sick, he dies, he tells his friends, do not put Stalin in charge, and then Stalin kills everyone, and he's in charge. Look how happy he is. Surely he wouldn't torture and kill people. Now, he is in Russia. Once again, he is communist, and he is the next dictator. Now, we are going to Asia. We are going to Japan with Hideki Tojo. This guy right here. He is the new bad guy we are going to talk about. When he was a little kid, his dad was a samurai. Yes, samurais did exist in the 1850s, but that is for another day. He goes to school at a military academy, so it's military as soon as he's a kid, all up through his teen years. He graduates school, goes into the army, and after a long time becomes the general. He then wants to invade China, and he does. And once he invades China, he gets appointed, just like Mussolini, prime minister. Once again, none of these guys got voted in. They just kind of forced their way in. He loves militarism. Remember, that was one of the main causes in World War I, right? And so was nationalism. So Japan is all about Japan. They're very proud of their country. They love their country and hate anyone who's their enemy. And they're using their military might to make all their government decisions. That is kind of what militarism is. All right. Now, once again, Japan technically is in charge by the emperor, Emperor Hirohito. But Tojo, who is this guy, the prime minister, Mr. Military, he is the one calling all the shots. There he is, much older, with all those awards. Now, where's Japan? Japan is an island, right? It's not touching anything, just water. All right, its focus is militarism, and they do in fact invade China, which is right here, if you don't know geography, for their resources, because Japan does not have a lot of resources because, well, they're an island. And then the last dictator we're going to discuss is Adolf Hitler. All right, there he is. Once again, I have a really cool video if you want to watch that. But if you just want to listen to me talk, that works too. All right. Once again, the Treaty of Versailles, you need to know this. Super, super duper important. It ended World War I and it made Germany a small army. They lost all their territory and it embarrasses Germany. Germany, once again, struggled like all of Europe, but then once the Great Depression hit America, Germany plummeted and employment was the worst. People lost all their savings and inflation got the worst. How bad was inflation? Well, remember those German marks in warm-up number 46? Yes, 1 US dollar equaled 4 trillion marks. So it would take you 4 trillion marks to make a single dollar, which meant that it was worthless. All right, people are wearing them as dresses, as hats, as kites, as blocks, they're completely useless. All right. Now, how did Hitler get to power? Well, first, he tried to overthrow the government. It didn't work. He got thrown in jail, and while in jail, he wrote a book outlining his idea for a perfect and future Germany. Then he gets out of jail and joins a political party called the Nazi Party, and they got pretty popular. Not the most popular, but they got decently popular. They went into an election to be who's going to be the president, and it wasn't Hitler. Hitler got second place. This guy, Hindenburg, he won the election. But then all of a sudden, the building, the parliament government building, gets burned to the ground, and Hitler asked the president, "Hey, can you give me special powers?" And there is the building. It is on fire. And there is another picture of the government building on fire. Now, this is kind of important. Hitler asked the president, Hindenburg, "Hey, we need to have a Reichstag fire decree, which means I get emergency powers to see and investigate what happened." And Hindenburg said, "Sure, I don't see anything wrong with this." And when Hitler got these emergency powers, he got rid of freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, which means gathering together. And he allows the government to arrest and imprison people without going to trial. Notice, these are very similar to Mussolini. Hitler blamed communists for burning the Reichstag building. A very common theme you'll see in World War II is that Hitler does not like communism at all. He really doesn't like it. But once again, a similar theme to Italy is people have no rights. Very similar to Russia. Japan, they do have rights. They're limited, but they do have more rights. But Russia, Germany, and Italy do not. The people of those three countries do not have rights. Now, Hitler decides not to become a president. He wants to be the supreme ruler, okay? And so he gets rid of the democracy officially, and he makes Germany a totalitarian state. This is super important. You need to know what this word means. What does it mean? It means the government gets total control of people's lives. Totalitarian, total control. Okay, and here's a picture now that he's in charge, and he then becomes Time Magazine's Man of the Year. And where is Germany? It is right there. It is ruled by the Nazi Party. They blame the fire on communists at the government building, and they use Jewish people as scapegoats in his book. And there he is. And that's all I got for you today. Enjoy your break. All right. Those are the 4 big dictators you need to know. If you go on to Google Classroom, just work on that one assignment. It will be due next week. I have some time. And then tomorrow's video, we are going to learn about the details of World War II beginning. Now, America won't be involved just yet. We're just kind of setting the stage. Next week, we are going to get more into America's involvement. All right, but we need context so we understand what is happening. All right, have a great day.